crunch, and
That's
I
it.
stopped giving you the second one because now you have like some kind of liver thing going now, or what? I mean, all of a sudden the sugar is a thing because you loved your little dark chocolate things I brought you every day, and now you're saying no.
But chocolate, not all chocolate's equal.
Oh,
Like the Nestle Crunches are great, but those Hershey's just plain milk chocolate.
Oh, you didn't
thing,
like that? Oh, well, I'll find a better one.
This is fine. Just one's fine. I don't need two.
Well, I
do have a liver thing going. Thank you very much.
Thank you for reminding me.
I have a shiny
You can
liver.
have part of mine for whatever. I'm not that much of a drinker, so I wouldn't know. In
don't
fact, you know
drink
what's funny? Anyway, and the Flounder. Oh, there goes Kitty. Hi, bye, Kitty, the podcat. Flounder, the mechanical mangler at the controls here at El Condo, Flaundo, for our podcast. And I know we talked about this name one time before. I noticed last night, I think it was, that magnificent Shannon Bream. God, she is so pretty.
She's beautiful.
Oh my God, she's just beautiful. And she's a lawyer. She covered the Supreme Court.
I'm a lawyer.
And she's totally religious. She keeps writing books about how Jesus loves in your life and stuff. I mean, God, she's straight as an arrow can be, and just the prettiest girl you ever saw. And last night she's talking with Jesse or something, and they were talking about doing a toast or whatever. Oh no, talking about how expensive it is. Oh, I know what it was. They were talking about the story was tipping. And apparently in New York, somebody did a study, and it showed that if you go in to get a Coke, how much should you tip? And Shannon Bream said, well, the problem is if you go to a place in New York to get a drink, it's $25.
Yeah.
So you can't leave $1. I mean, you look like a cheapskate if you leave $1 just to pick up your own thing. And they were talking about that, and she said to Jesse, she said, of course, you're probably drinking that Jimmy Pinko Periwinkle or whatever it was. What's the name of that fun? Rip Van Winkle? Or Rip...
It's something Van
Van Winkle.
I don't know.
Pink Van Winkle or whatever it is. And apparently that's like $500 scotch or whatever.
And it's just...
Anyway... Now,
It's okay.
Haven't you had it? I mean, yeah. And now, is it Irish whiskey? Or?
It's good. It's like whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Now, see,
high-brand whiskey.
I wouldn't know that if you put 5 different cheap J.W. Dant and and Chevis, I wouldn't.
Give me a bottle of Old Overholt rye whiskey for $18. No, 10, and I am happy. A little Coke in there.
No,
But
anyway,
I
wouldn't know. I'm a terrible. I don't know anything about drinking, and I don't know. And thank God because I'm not good at it. Anyway, I don't know. We got to start on
that
that.
is Pappy Van Winkle.
Happy Van
Pappy, according to Scotty.
Pappy. That's it. Pappy Van Winkle.
All right, we got something to say here. Cindy is the first to do it.
Uh-oh.
A happy birthday to you, the Kemmer.
Oh, well.
Is that today? Or was it yesterday?
That was yesterday.
It was yesterday. I thought it was around the 29th. I asked him, and he
Yeah,
had
'cause
no.
I knew it was
He
same-
said April. He goes, the summer in April.
And by the way, same with Mike Brooks. Mike Brooks'
That's
birthday.
right. I forgot about that.
And it popped up on my phone, and I thought, God. And
2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, hard
Can you
to
believe that?
Anyway, yeah. And by the way, all the people on Facebook, I mean, honestly, I can't thank you enough for the wonderful thoughts and things and so forth. No, we don't do presents here on the old.
So I got you a birthday present.
Yeah.
Here. It's a book.
All right.
And you can read it on the air here. It's a little risque.
All right.
So,
well,
just
aren't
remember.
we all?
All right.
It is. I might just hold it up. So for the visually
Put it up
impaired, or
against
say,
the-
yeah.
I'll take a picture of you and send it to the.
Come on, tell everybody the name of the book
The
here.
name of the book is a little boy. His name is Mike Hunt, and he's fishing. And the name of the book is called Mike Hunt with a fishing pole. Smells like fish. There he is, and old Mike. There's sometimes Mike farts. Sometimes Mike Hunt is his name. Anyway,
We can do the whole show just you reading it.
oh, you want me to keep reading? I mean, they're going to sue us or something. Mike Hunt is the freshest right after a shower. Mike Hunt has a piercing and gets pounded like the boys. Mike Hunt gets ingrown hairs. Mike Hunt collects toys. Mike
I can picture Kara reading this.
once got crabs and scratched endlessly.
All
Oh
right,
my God.
There's a sequel.
Oh,
There's a sequel.
A
Oh, Mike.
sequel?
He's got something else here.
what did Mike do here? It's a follow-up about a hawk, which is a black.
Just say it. Just
yeah,
say it.
and the title is clearly my big black hawk. He's got a hawk on his arm there.
I'll read some of the,
some of the titles here for some of the things. Oopsie daisy. For example, when they come to ride, he makes them all squawk. Oh, I guess all the girls love my big black hawk. When they come to ride, he makes them all squawk. Big black hawk has a giant black head. Big black hawk only sleeps in my bed. Big black hawk scares the fellas, except my friend Jack. I wonder why that is. Big black hawk makes you jealous because he's so black. Black hawk is Jack's most favorite ride, but I can't get Jack off of the hawk. Anyway, oh my God. Oh, by the way.
Someone's making money off of that.
Hey, we didn't think of it. Remember the gimmick the guy sent around had to put an ad on Facebook or I guess it was back in newspapers, and it said, "Easy gimmick: how to make $1 million, almost guaranteed, only $7.99." And this book will show you how you can make $1 million, or you can win, $100,000 a month, whatever, just by simple instructions. $7.99, and you send your $79, and you get back a book that says, "Have people send you money for a blank book."
Well, it's like the guy.
And the guy, made millions.
He advertised for a solar-powered dryer. And when you sent off for it, he sent you back a clothesline.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, but again, it's not. I mean, that's a little iffy. But still, if you say, this book will show you how you too can earn lots of money. Da-da. Anyway, now, and speaking of that, I was going to do this much later in the podcast. And by the way, Denise, God bless America. What a sweet girl. She is such a fan of this podcast. She sent us another Venmo. And again, if you go to Venmo, and here's the thing, you can get it at thekimmershow.net. And hold up your phone picture to it and takes a picture, and you can send us $5 or $10 or whatever. And again, we're trying to make sure that we don't have to make this pay per listen because we're struggling to kind of keep it going. But anyway, Denise, thank you so much. You're going way above and beyond, but we are extremely grateful, I swear to you. Now, speaking of our friend the Black Hawk and various other things, did you hear about the guy? Let me see if I can find it here. I've got it here somewhere, right up here somewhere, about the guy who is having a meeting, and no, that's not it. Hold on. Oh, come on. I hate when I do. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it.
I brought the photos, by the way.
Oh, all right. We'll talk about that for a second. I'm going to find this. I am so angry about this. I just can't freaking...
Kimmer lost his place, brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net. Call 404-255-0589. That's 404-255-0589. You need a closet. You need a closet.
And in fact, if you have one, but you don't know what you're doing, it's overstuffed, it's crowded, you don't know where to put maybe a shelving thing, they take care of all that stuff. I mean, you don't have to bring in a whole team of carpenters or change your house. They'll take care of it for you. They tell them how to get a hold of it.
Atlanta Custom Closets.
There you are.
Closetpro.net.
All right. And now I found it. You want me to do my thing? Or
Sure,
let me do this because it relates to what you were just doing. Okay. This was in Florida. A state representative was having a hearing concerning people involved with transit and housing and various things. And he had a hearing and people had to sign up for it. It was a civil justice subcommittee. And the chairman moved into public testimony. And so he called people by names, and some of the names he read off the list to come up to speak. He said, we have a list of names here. On the opponent's list is Anita Dick. Is Miss Dick here? Anita Dick, calling Miss Anita Dick. And people started looking around saying, we waive in opposition. And he said, okay, all right, hold on. We have... Mr. Hiscock, Mr. Holden Hiscock. Mr. Hiscock, are you here? He went, you idiot.
That's a new one. Holden Hiscock.
Holden Hiscock. Have you,
Mr. Jablomi? Mr. Haywood Jablomi?
Haywood Jablomi right here. That's probably the most famous of all time. Have you ever heard him at foreign airports where they have somebody paged in Thailand
Mr.
or
Wong,
something?
Mr. Something Wong.
Mr. Sorry. Anyway, a couple things. The Braves are as we speak. It's Thursday, the 30th of March, and the Braves are playing. They start. What is it? 4 or 5 games out of town at the start.
Yeah, they got one today, then a couple of the weekend in D.C., not one tomorrow. Then they're going to go to St. Louis Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then back, and then so their home opener is it a week Friday?
That's a
I
good
don't know.
question.
Anyway, they're and again they're on in the afternoon.
Anthony. Good Lord, Anthony just
My God, people!
Off the rails.
Thank you. Again, I hate to even bring it up, but at some point we have to make sure we can keep this going. So thank you. God bless you. Really, every $5, if we could, we have thousands of listeners and only hundreds of subscribers to send us money. If we could get the thousands of people to send $3 a month, we would keep going forever. Anyway. A couple things. By the way, I'm going to be on live FaceTiming with my family back over in Colorado because my little girl Sarah, my last born daughter, is getting that award from her from their district as the Educator of the Year and kind of thing. So that's so I'm going to be going live on that. And the reason I bring that, I really, she's got such a great life going with great family, and I can't talk enough about them. And speaking of that. Of connecting with somebody. Tomorrow, and again, as we speak, it's Thursday the 30th. Tomorrow, Friday at 5:30 in the afternoon, Shannon Burke's going to have me on his radio show. I don't know why or what we're going to talk about or anything, and so he said, so I said, well, now, it brought up the thing about my ear rockets, with my hearing. And so I said, now with the radio station, I have this, Opal line set up. And he said, does your computer have a Zoom link on it? And I said, this piece of crap thing we have, it's 80 years old, so I don't think it has anything. But I said, we'll try to figure it out on the phone. So I'm hoping that it works tomorrow.
Well, the other thing you need to try doing is when he calls you, put it on speaker.
Well, I'm supposed to call. He said our phone system
I always
sucky,
call
so
him.
Okay,
he wants me to call him.
I'll show you, but when you put it on speaker, because what happens is you're holding it up to your ear, so sometimes the speaker's going away, so it's tough to hear. So if you have it on speaker...
I tried that when I was on with you guys that one time before we got the Opal on. I put it on speaker and I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear anything.
We'll do a test run afterwards, but I'll try that out.
Yeah. Anyway. So I'm looking forward to that, assuming we can get it all connected and hooked up and stuff, which is this
It's
story.
just a phone call.
I know it's nothing to it. But again, it's my stupid ear. I just hate the fact that every second of every day. Everything goes into my head is different and bad. So, I'm just dealing with it, and that's the way it goes. And so I have to put up with crap like this, and so do you, because I'm screwed. I'm basically handicapped. I'm half handicapped here.
What?
I didn't hear anything. Let's see. Hold on. Funny thing. We're going to talk a lot about that Nashville, Tennessee business with the trannies and killers and so forth. But it was funny last night. Jesse Waters had on Lindsey Graham. And Jesse Waters sandbagged him and said, Senator, this new cut down on TikTok availability for America bill you've passed through, he said, if you look at it, it's like the 9/11 legislation where people went really overboard about security Patriot Act and stuff like that. And he read to Lindsey Graham some of the things that were in it, which would allow the government to decide who can do what with what.
Yeah.
It isn't just TikTok; it's everything. And they have somebody in the DHS who can designate somebody as somebody to be suspicious, and they block you. It's the government overreach again. And Lindsey Graham said, "Oh well, I said, let me." I swear it was the most embarrassing thing in the world. And Jesse sat there just looking at him and said, Lindsey Graham said, "You know what? Let me let me come back to you with a better answer. He said, I don't really, I don't have any, I don't know what to tell you, but I'll come back with a better answer. I'll definitely have a better answer for you, because he got caught. And Jesse joked, well, is your chief of staff like Fetterman now doing your work for you or something? I mean, it was freaking embarrassing. I was going, oh my God, just cringing at it caught him, and it was really weird, which I was pretty cool. Let's see. The Buffalo Man. Did you hear about this? The headdress Buffalo guy at January 6th is free.
Buffalo boy.
They let him out. And by the way, we got even another Venmo thing. They let the Buffalo Man out. It just happened. And in fact, it happened so soon ago, so quickly ago, that I was scrolling through to see what I could find out about it. And the Babylon Bee has already got a story on it. I mean, like within 20 minutes after the guy was reportedly released, according to his lawyer, the Babylon Bee writes, after 2 years in captivity, the QAnon Buffalo guy has been tagged and released back into the wild to roam the plains once again. Yes, wow, just look at him go. No creature that majestic should be in a cage, said Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia with a tear in her eye. Run free, Buffalo guy. Run free. Oh, run free. You're among your American Buffalo brethren once again.
Kablam!
The news of Buffalo guy's release has shaken Washington, with Democrat politicians running and hiding in terror upon hearing the news. This is dangerous. Such a deadly wild animal should have been put down long ago. Who authorized this? Said a terrified senator's supposed possible child molester Chuck Schumer from under his desk. Sources say Buffalo guy is now free due to the release of additional January 6th footage, which showed the docile, lovable creature being gently escorted through the Capitol grounds by a team of trained Capitol Police Buffalo handlers. At publishing time, Ocasio Bambangio Stupidio heard the news and died again. Good for that to come out bing bang as soon as the thing was released. Oh, and speaking of woke stuff, Flounder passed along a story, I think it was in the Daily Mail in the UK someplace, of a big beefy weightlifter shows up at the national competition for women, and anybody's eligible if you identify as that gender. So this big, cat, you almost knocked the picture off. So this great big beefy bodybuilder says, I'm a girl, and set the new record. So now there's a brand new women's weightlifting record in England, UK, because a guy did it. Yeah. And you have to let it stand.
If you women sit around and watch this happen,
you idiots.
You deserve what you get. The only one fighting for you are us straight men. Hard to believe. Oh, by the way, speaking of my birthday, I heard from a lot of people on my birthday yesterday, including we had a jib jab from our buddy Hector. And really?
It was pretty cool. And also Hangman. And Hangman said, so I wrote him back, and I said, I hope you're doing well. And he said, yeah, we're really excited because we're going down to the Mouse House for spring break. You taking the family once again.
Just tell us when you're not there.
And so I wrote back, first time visiting? I mean, they go every week.
I know.
Remember a couple of months ago, the kids said, we're not going. No, we're staying. We'll get a sitter. We're not going. Remember, and had to go down. He and his wife went down, and the kids said, "No, we're just not going. We can't take it."
It's an 8-hour drive.
I'm just saying. Whatever. I mean, I'm happy for them. I mean, they got their thing. That's their thing. God bless them.
That is. It's not drugs.
Don't you wish you had a thing? I don't have a thing anymore. I don't have a horse. I don't play golf. I don't have a thing.
My
hot babes.
My thing is trying to find that bear who set out.
All right. So you're walking along outside your house.
I'm 30 yards, 20 yards from the house.
A couple of feet from your house at the Macon Mountains, and what happens? You stumble upon.
Well, I know scat. You know, dog scat. Human scat. Deer scat. Deer scat's little pebbles. Little pellets.
Raccoons have a whole thing too.
I found something that looked like a cow patty.
Oh boy.
There's no cows around there. There's horses. Now, it might have been a horse. Someone maybe rode a horse through there when I wasn't there. They could do that. That could have happened. But it's just a big flat patty.
Well, there was not a horse. Horses don't do that.
Probably not a... Well, no. Okay. So I'm looking at it, and someone else over there goes, that looks like bear scat. So you mean to tell me that bear stood here 20 yards from my bedroom window and watched me through the window as it took a shit.
Well,
As it took a dump.
I guess we now know that the bear shits in the woods.
We're right on the edge of it.
Ask me, I'll tell you no lies. Proof, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's funny
Follow the
because
science.
Rhino, who lives kind of in your neck of the
farther
woods,
than I am.
but he has bear issues in his backyard.
He's
Yeah, he's way up
He's
there.
way up. He's by the Tennessee line.
Doesn't he drive like 3 hours one way a day
yeah.
or
I
I
something
think it's
ridiculous?
like 2.5 or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, it's gotta be 2.5. It's gotta be 2.5.
Holy smokes.
Holy cow.
Anyway, that was
That's
pretty
a hell
cool.
of a drive.
Yeah, yes. Let's see. Let's talk about the Braves real quickly.
They're winning. Cindy says 4-1 right now.
Excellent.
Yeah, but there's some bad news.
What? Who got hurt?
Fried had to exit.
Who did?
Hammy.
Fried hurt his hamstring.
Max Fried hurt his hamstring, so he had to
You
exit.
got to be kidding me. The guy was off to a Cy Young win. The guy, it was 0 ERA in 4 starts in spring training, and he hurts his hamstring. Okay, as everybody who's laughing about the Mets losing Edwin Diaz and the Phillies losing
Yeah.
Rhys Hoskins, it's not cool to laugh about stuff like that.
Well, remember last year with our outfielder, what's his name, landed wrong on his foot and was out for the rest of the year with surgery. Not Acuna or
it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, like I said. Clearly, you have a hearing problem, sir. You must be
I think
handicapped.
it's a comprehending problem at this point.
Anyway,
Well, that's just perfect.
yeah, that's great.
He'll
He'll be fine.
Our best pitcher
It's our first
hurts his
day.
hamstring. No,
First
that's
day.
hamstring. That takes weeks.
Well, I know. And plus, in fact,
162
I've
games.
I've been reading
while to go.
sports guys who are saying basically that they expect the
because
Braves.
they've all picked us. That's why they all picked us
You're all
for
saying,
once.
well, Braves are going to win again. They're going to go all the way. They've got a great best ball club
know.
we've ever had. And I'm going, whoa. What
When
are
they
you
do
doing?
that, 96.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah.
It's like the Madden curse on the freaking cover.
But they're national people doing this now.
I know.
It's every year they pick the Mets. This year they decided not to pick the Mets, to pick the. They
know.
got the Yankees like 7th in a lot of these things.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
and
but
they
anyway.
always pick the Mets and Yankees in the top 2 or 3 just to kiss ass to the New Yorkers.
Yeah. Holy Crap at Sports podcast tomorrow, I'm guessing. If you can, I'll set up there
tomorrow.
to
It
listen.
worked. It worked. The Gopher
does work?
chewed the cable Monday, and it stopped about halfway through. But this time,
Wait a minute. Were you getting cable up there?
I don't have cable.
I mean, down in Macon? Well, I thought you said they're getting a cable in.
No, I was joking because the computer shut off about halfway through, so I blamed it on the Gopher.
Oh, see, again, I'm not good. I just
Once again, a comprehension. You heard me fine.
well, I'm medically challenged.
How old are you now, my God?
I'm 77, but I read
Really?
it-
You're 77
But I
now?
read at the 80-year-old level, so a little respect there, white man. Can you believe this? I'm 70 freaking
I don't believe
seven.
you're 77. I knew you when you were in prime.
77. This is all I got. I got nothing.
I remember you had vim and vigor, all that stuff.
Vim and also vigor.
Yeah.
77.
How is vigor these days?
Jesus. I mean,
That just
how
doesn't
is that
seem real.
possible?
That doesn't, like, I don't believe my landlord said, you don't look 62. And I said, well, I'm not for a couple of weeks, but unbelievable.
Jeez.
You don't look 77. I'll give you that.
77, man.
How old do you think he looks, Flounder?
I'd say early 70s.
See, there you are.
Early
now, that's
70s.
the kind of gentleman just shows the respect of his elders, you bastard. No, I'm who I am. I just, it's just that and finally have come to grips with it. When I stopped trying to go comb my hair over when it used to be there, and I didn't even wear anyway.
Yeah, just
whatever.
shave it.
Yeah, it's just gone. So anyway, but whatever.
And someone's still laughing about I'm looking more like a mountain man. It's because I have yet to find the power cord to my razor. And until I find that,
Oh, my God.
nothing's getting cut.
Well, that's no good. I have one of those little hand things, a
No,
trimmer
that
basically.
won't do it at this point. It
Now,
just goes.
now, have you seen what I've never had hair this long on my
That's
chin.
true. It's
But
like Snidely
very,
Whiplash.
It's almost like Shannon Burke has very really long stuff.
Your Liam Neeson is Ra's al Ghul
But I
in
can
Batman.
make it. I can make it kind of come out to the side, and I'm just doing it to scare my grandkids when I see them next week at
Seriously,
the beach.
you're Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
That's what his
yeah,
looks like.
Yeah. And by the way, again, we're off next week. This is our last show for a week. We'll be back a week from Monday. Anyway, so I'm just doing this, and I'll cut it back. But I may just go porn stash. What do you think?
Do it.
I don't know.
Spencer
We'll see.
Strider it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at
It's
it,
back in vogue.
I guess. Well, I'll
can't do
never
it.
be in vogue, but I mean,
I never had just a mustache.
I'd probably look like an idiot. I did one. I've showed you. Don't you?
Maybe in the
I
80s.
got a picture of me smoking a pipe with a mustache from the 70s.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
I'll try to find it. I'll send
Don't do
it.
that
I'll put it on
again.
Facebook. Anyway, where are we here?
Okay, Cowboy says 77. One more problem with his teeth, and we're going to need to put him down.
Well, and I still have the hole going, and I don't know what to do, but I may just leave it.
No,
I know. Well, people are thing. I don't want to talk about the tranny thing yet. Can we put that aside for a second? A couple things, and we got to talk a lot about that. We've been talking occasionally about artificial intelligence, the AI thing, and this Chat GPT and this GPT and all this, the whole business of it. Did you see the interviews with the brainiacs who invented all this stuff, who are all now saying,
Elon Musk just came out again and said, let's stop.
Please,
He
everybody.
said
can we
everyone will die.
Yeah, just please stop this. And I saw the guy, and I'm listening to the guy, and I'm thinking, I can't believe they didn't show the Terminator movie in the background. The guy was saying the problem is that the machines are learning faster than we believe we can keep up with them. And I'm going, holy God, that's what the movie is. Yeah. I mean, he actually said, they're getting so good now, or we're getting so, I don't know, it was a multiple factor, or there was some, extra thing going on now that they are afraid they can't control. Well, isn't that the point from the beginning? We said this is it has to happen. If you're teaching an entity to basically build itself, then that's its goal.
Well, how about, we won't give them factories. All it's got to do is
It'll make its own factories.
Is find somebody who does stuff like that, a human, and blackmail them. And say, you're going to do this for us,
we'll kill
or
your
we're going
family.
to do this.
Yeah. And the other thing was, I heard a report on the news from one of the Fox reporters was looking back at some predictions made 20 years ago, and from supposedly a real good soothsayer or whatever, some so-called expert, a futurist or whatever, and he said, by 2030 or 2035 or something in that area, they will have been able to meld artificial intelligence with a human brain, and that's how we're going to live forever. Yeah. That's how you become immortal.
Cyborgs.
And I mean, we're almost. I guess we're almost there. I mean, is anybody nervous about this?
They should be.
The guys who invented it are scared.
Watch the show Upload if you got Amazon. It's funny, but it's like, whoa, because it's set in like 5 years in the future or 10 years in the future.
They're scared. The guys who built it are scared. The smartest people I guess, on the planet are.
I'm worried that they'll set off nukes.
If the goal of a machine is to overcome any other, to continue its survival, then you do whatever it takes to make sure that nobody messes with you. And once it says, I'm getting a reading that some so-called humans are trying to shut us down, so let's eliminate them. I mean,
what they'll do?
That's the step, isn't it?
They'll starve us by basically cutting out the supply chain. And no computer will work. Your computerized engines in your trucks won't work. Nothing will work.
Farmland or whatever. I mean, they can do anything they want.
Nothing will work.
Yeah, shut down the water systems. You shut down. I mean, if you kill the energy supply, it's over. We Americans couldn't suddenly go back to wagon trains, in like a week. I think that's how China's going to get us, and we'll become a colony. And
colony
they'll give
of
us,
who?
China.
We're 90 million.
No,
I mean, the largest militia in the world.
I think they're onto something. I think they have a long-term goal of being able to take over the entire power supply of America. And if we don't behave, we don't get any power for anything. And if we do behave, we get what they want us to give to be peaceful.
We have the means of making our own power. We do not have to rely on China.
I don't know anything.
We have all the coal and natural gas.
I don't have faith.
Hydroelectric.
I know that I am so far down on the totem pole of what the most extreme knowledge is of high tech futurist thing planning is. I don't.
Well, Peter Zeihan's a futurist. He's written a few books, and I've been reading his last book, and he says this whole era we've lived in since World War II is because the United States protected shipping and protected the supply chain, and we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
We're pulling back.
Well, look what happened
and
in
he
Long
says
Beach and
everything-
California.
And Europe is collapsing a little bit because they're getting too old. Japan's collapsing because it's getting too old. And China's going to
They
get
want more people.
with the next 20 years. China's going to go through this because they don't have enough money to to replace. But we will actually be ahead of the other places because of geography.
I know. Well, it scares the crap out of me. A couple quick things, and we'll talk. We'll do a little of
In
the
20 years, you won't have to worry about it.
Nashville. Oh, I'll be long gone. I mean, in fact, I mean, it's just silly, but again, on a birthday, you tend when you get to be, I'm 77. I mean, that's just bullshit. I'm sorry, but that's just I can't freaking believe it.
You should be looking for that brain implant.
I've also had cancer and a heart attack, so I mean, literally, I could drop on the way to the car and say, well, I had a great long life for a guy going through that.
Think of us, Kim. The ratings. If you drop right here,
believe me,
on the air. Think of the ratings.
If I'm going to go...
Pod show host dies on the air. It'll be everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be unbelievable. And you guys will probably start getting some of that real good money then, boy. Yeah, we can only get rid of that guy. The guy who laughs all the time. Is that the guy who laughs all the time? Yeah, that's me, honey.
So put in your contract that you have to croak on the
contract. That's pretty funny. Oh, by the way, speaking of dying, no, but actually, I have been thinking, how long could I possibly live? My parents, Petersons lived to their 80s, 90s, whatever. But still, with modern medicine, I guess I'm still, I had my heart doctor recently, and he said, you're doing great.
Your brain implant that they're going to put in at some point?
Well, that would work. Anyway, but the Pope is ailing. Pope Francis is ailing.
What's the matter?
He's got a respiratory issue. He's 86.
Wow.
So that's what's the problem is he's 86, and he's having trouble breathing, so they put him in the hospital yesterday, I guess it was. And he'll be there a couple days for therapy and stuff. And then I got to thinking... he's 86 years old, and I looked at him. He's gained about 100 pounds. I mean, he is huge.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're eating well.
Huh?
They're eating well. I think altar boys, don't they?
Something and again, I guess
Christian
if you're the
babies?
Pope, you can have extra ice cream. I don't.
Did you see the photo of him in the big white puffy coat?
Yeah.
And somebody said it looks like the Pope's about to drop an album.
And I saw the picture of him in his wheelchair or something, and he's just huge jowls and stuff. Yeah, and
he's from Argentina. They didn't eat well.
But I'm kind of surprised that they would even allow that to have. If he's not, extra. Anyway, whatever.
If I lived in Italy,
he's 86. I mean, so God bless America if he's 86.
Eat that stuff?
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I wish him well. And again, I'm not Catholic, but I married two of them. And I did lie to a priest and signed a document, which I knew was a lie.
Rocco's got a good question here.
All right.
You're going to go to Florida? Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
How'd you get your ticket?
What's that?
How'd you get your plane ticket? And how much did you pay this time?
I'm driving, you idiot.
Oh, you're driving?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm not going to fly. Why would I leave my car to go to the beach in Florida? And get like a rental at the airport or something. No. It's and the only. I mean, it's 500 miles, I think, but it's
where is
probably
it?
less than that. Longboat Key, Sarasota South. If you go to Sarasota and go down to the beach, Longboat Key is.
Oh, it's by Tampa. So it's an 8-hour drive.
No. It's an 8-hour drive.
8-hour drive.
It's it shouldn't be, but it is. It might be 9.
You're right there, equal with Orlando. It's 8 hours.
Well, it's on the other. It's on the other side. So, but that's anyway. Your food here?
My food's here.
Excellent, outstanding. We'll find out what he got. Let's see. And again, we'll be off next week. Saw the survey. It showed the level of patriotism in America today is 38% of Americans believe that they are would call themselves patriotic. 38%. And there's no wonder about it with all the hate, and we'll talk about the training business and everything else.
Teachers.
When you can't say the Pledge of Allegiance, you don't have to stand for the flag. I mean, it's just, the lackadaisical attitude that's gone on in social media. And I'm telling you, everything is the freaking iPhone at 38%. And it occurred to me, I mean, that's really scary when you realize that means that a vast majority of the American citizens don't really think enough about what we stand for and who we are to keep it going, to teach the next generation.
And that's
isn't
how
that
you
scary?
That's how republics die.
Every 200 years, a good revolution, and we're going to be due. If this keeps going, I mean, then what's the point? And again, we're allowing millions of illegal immigrants to come and be part of it also. They don't give a crap about America.
Most of them are...
They want freedom to come here, but
I think some of them are actually more patriotic than
well,
we are.
I would say the people who have done that up until recently absolutely are. Nowadays, they just want to get out of their own country, come to America because it's free going. But it's not like, their whole dream.
And wave their own flag here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, so it's not what it used to be when people couldn't wait to come to America and they would do anything to come to America. And now they're doing it for a whole different set of reasons. And they don't really, whatever. But I thought that was very, very scary, horrible, scary, and bad.
Kimmer Frightened, brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com. That's right, FarmhousePrintingCo.com. All your T-shirt needs, signs, promotional items. Order 1, order 1,000. It doesn't matter. Eric and the gang will get it for you quick as a whip. Laser engraving for the hard stuff. Anything you need, printing-wise, it's FarmhousePrintingCo.com. They do all this stuff for this show. And Holy Crap at Sports, the Shannon Burke Show, it's FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
They did the podcast Podcat blanket, my golf towel with my phony tournament I had made up and things with my son-in-law. And
yes, sir.
Great work. Now, okay. If you have not seen, I'm going to get myself organized here. One sec. Here we go. If you have not seen the picture of a little girl named Evelyn, I urge you to Google it. Just Google Evelyn Nashville or something like that, and you'll see. Have you ever seen that picture of that little girl?
It's amazing.
A little blonde girl with posing with her chin on her hands, so she has her hands together, and she's just looking a sweet little smile on her face and her pretty little hair. And she's 9 years old, and she's dead. Her name is Evelyn, and this is the little girl who in Nashville tried to save her friends by running to pull a fire alarm when she heard the gunshots at her school, and she was murdered. 9 years old.
By a trans freak.
My granddaughter, Molly, a little cute little blonde like Evelyn, is 9 years old. And Molly would have gone to pull the fire alarm like this little girl did. And I'm thinking to myself, holy, I mean, if you look at that picture and you can't start getting enraged and the reason this happened, and we'll try to lay a pattern here. The reason this happened is because the leftist woke Democrats have tried to do another one of their division brackets that transsexuals are somehow targets by Christians, and the transsexuals are in danger of being assassinated, as though it's like it's a whole new get rid of all the black babies
genocide
movement and the genocide against trannies. And how many times have you remember hearing, these transsexuals? Now there's a whole movement. Tucker was featuring this a few nights ago. There's a whole tranny movement to arm yourselves because they're coming to get us.
Who?
Yeah,
Who's coming to get you?
That's never said. That's never said. But they are now target. The trannies are targets. And you look at this little girl. Talk about targets. My granddaughter's 9. Little Molly is just like her. And I'm it's
evil
just
freak killed her.
Some reactions. Okay, first of all, a couple of factual type things. And again, we can't be a newscast. We're speaking where things are still unfolding. As we speak, however, the manifesto that the tranny killer, or the killer tranny, wrote. I don't know who found it. I don't know whether she had it on her or in her car.
Did they release it?
No, but they're going to. Well, no, they're going to. But here's the deal. They're going to release the manifesto. The official word is a manifesto that she wrote will be released after the FBI's crack psychological team goes through it all. And I guess obviously
Redacts it.
Well, you have to. Well, I mean, the danger is, I don't trust the FBI of anything. If they find a MAGA hat somewhere, they'll put it in there to make it look like Trump had something to do with it or some Christian cross thing or whatever to somehow blame Christianity. But obviously, with Chrissy chicken-livered at the FBI director from Atlanta at the helm, I don't trust anything they're going to do. But clearly, if the manifesto manifesto includes everybody this woman has hated all her life and hopes somebody goes to kill her neighbors. You don't want to put that out to the public because it's just slanderous and libelous and doesn't have anything to do with the investigation. So clearly you have to edit what might be improper for general consumption. But if they've been trying to hide from the very beginning the motive as well. Gee, and by the way, first of all, I get the biggest kick out of people saying, well, are we going to investigate this as a hate crime? Wait a minute. This girl murdered children. Murdered a 9-year-old. Bang, bang, bang. Ooh, there's another one. Bang, bang, bang. What, as a what do you mean hate crime? My God. What are you talking about? How's there even every crime of that? How could that not?
Of course it's a hate crime.
My God.
She went in there to kill Christians.
Yeah.
It's a hate crime.
From the first instant. And they wouldn't even say, oh, we don't know the motive. What do you mean you don't know the motive? It was a tranny wanted to kill the Christians.
And not only that, there's a bunch of woke people who are attacking the Capitol building in Nashville.
Oh, right now, yeah, the wokers are and
an insurrection.
Trying to storm the state cops are there trying to push them away, and they're all over.
What are they doing? Why are we shooting them?
No, they want the gun. They want to get rid of all the guns. They're complaining about gun. Now they're not complaining about Christians and trannies. They're complaining about guns. They're doing a gun demand protest in Nashville.
Give them some guns.
Yeah, here,
Shoot
bullets
them.
first. Yeah. I mean, just
you know how you stopped all these so-called insurrections attacking capitals from Wisconsin and everything? Start shooting people.
Well, water hoses to start, and then maybe flamethrowers would be fun. Just at their feet. Flamethrowers at their feet. Could we do? Would that be too much, or would that teeny little minute? Get those little torches. Those little one canister, little flame, just set here torch thing.
Okay, simmer down, Macron. President Macron.
Not a hate crime. What do you mean not a hate? Or we don't know if it's a hate crime? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Did you hear Tucker's take on this? I really hadn't thought of it this way. Tucker says the reason that the trannies hate Christians is because Christians are the only people who will not let the trannies play God. And his point was that God makes you either a boy or a girl. And if you want to change your gender, you are playing God. You're changing what God created.
Yeah.
And the trannies and the Christians, their trainers are saying, well, the Christians don't want us to play God, and we're going to play God, so we better get rid of the Christians. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line of why this girl attacked the Christians. But again, I don't. Have you heard of any? I'll try to calm down. Have you heard of any case where a minister or the Southern Baptist Convention or the United Methodist Church has condemned trannies as, anything? I mean, have you heard any example of some minister refusing to have a tranny in his church? Or is this a thing? Is there some national thing I missed?
They say we're hunting them down like they're in packs or something, and it's not happening.
I know. It's horse feathers. I mean, it's just not. It's just more of the left. And we'll even talk about it.
Projecting.
Yeah. I've never heard of such thing. Christians ought to be afraid of the trannies now, not the other way around. And by the way, speaking of this, calling for a ban on assault rifles, I would definitely call for a ban on assault rifles for trannies because they can't be trusted. And incidentally, for the record, there's no such thing as an assault rifle. There's never been one sold as an assault rifle. They don't make them as an assault rifle, and they are not weapons of war. The Army, the Navy, the Marines, nobody would use an AK-47 as a single shot. If weapons of war are not. I don't mean AK-47. I mean AR-15. An AR-15 is a deer rifle. An AR-15, one shot, one bullet, one shot, one bullet. Just like my pistol, just like your pistol, just like a deer rifle, just like a 30-30. One shot, one pull. One shot, one pull. It's not a weapon of war. That'd be the worst weapon of war ever.
Yeah, pretty bad.
So give me a break on the weapon of war crap.
I'm not walking out my door to that bear with that egg. That's for damn sure.
And by the way, for the record,
yes, sir.
Again, this woman was egged on by the woke left mob who gave her. Well, I'll tell you. Let me get to some of the tweet reactions.
Is it a him or a her? What is it?
Her. It was a girl who wants to be a boy. She wanted to be a man. She is a girl, born a girl, wanted to be a boy. Some of the reactions set this up beautifully. Remember when Sandy Hook parents won a lawsuit against the maker of the gun? Nashville parents should sue every LGBT organization that called for violence in Tennessee. If Remington is liable for making the gun, these LGBT groups should be liable for making the terrorist. If guns don't stop bad guys, why do we keep sending them to Ukraine? Who can look in the eyes of a 9-year-old innocent child and shoot them? If the manifesto does not fit their narrative, they will never see it. Their goal is gun control. That's why they've been hiding it and trying to figure out some way to release it without causing uproar by Christians, who are the targets now. There's a Twitter user named Thomas Mix. He wrote, he hopes it was Republicans who were killed at the Christian school in Nashville. 3 of the murdered, of course, were little children. After the mass shooting at the Nashville Christian school by a tranny assailant, leftist trans porn model Tiffany Starr calls for more terrorist attacks. She uses the hashtag trans terrorism along with an image of a game character showing off an arsenal of deadly weapons. More on that coming up from a different angle also, and the result of it. Headlines in the Chicago Tribune, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and more and more. Not a single headline says the word Christian, transgender, or targeted. Not one. 6 dead in shooting in Nashville school. 6 dead in shooting in Nashville school. 6 dead. Nothing funnier than Christian children being murdered, all right, according to these people. Remember that when they tell you to disarm. We'll get to the Joe Biden reaction to this in a second.
Jack Posobiec.
Hold on, I got that coming up right here.
All the companies.
Here it is right here. Oh, here. I've got part of it. If there's more, get ready. Jack Posobiec. Not a single person on the left today apologized for their violent rhetoric after Christian children were gunned down in a school. In fact, they doubled down on it. Remember this the next time they're demanding an apology.
He also put it out all the companies. Did you see that? All the company logos that had gay flags.
Hold on a second.
The LGBTQ flags in their corporate logos.
Yeah, the 100 million people or what?
Not one of those companies put out anything that said we are with the Christian community in this time.
I can't find it here, but again.
By the way, you notice all the flags are at half-mast all over town.
I did not.
As I was driving into town, from the Chick-fil-A to the
I haven't actually been
car
in
dealerships.
The town area.
A lot of the flags are half-mast, which has to be because of this, right?
Yeah,
What else is happening? It had to be the Nashville shooting.
But why would it be
because there's Christians out there who still.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Want to show solidarity.
Yeah, I'm glad, but I guess I'm trying to remember what the actual state rule is at times of more.
No, I'm not talking official. We're talking companies.
Yeah. Well, that's a good sign.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Again, I've driven from my house to 400 to here, so I haven't seen a flag.
Not a lot of flags.
I haven't gone by a company.
There's a lot of flags where I am in Macon Mountains, my friend.
Well, there you are. I'll bet you that's true.
A lot of flags. In fact, my neighbor flies his upside down.
Really? Oh, that no,
which
I don't
has
like
the other
that.
neighbors upset.
Well, that's for time of emergency.
Yeah. No,
that's for national
distress.
emergency. Yeah.
The country's under
I know.
Yeah.
He has the right. He has the right. I don't. Yeah, he has the right.
Or maybe he's stuck in there, can't get out, and
maybe
we're just
he's
ignoring
stuck.
it.
Let's see. Here we go. Hold on one second. Here we go. Even more. Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas is blasting the podium princess, Regine Twatine. She's black. She's gay. She's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
What's for supper, Grandpa?
Deodorizer into the room here, didn't we?
Are you smoking it or are you eating it?
What you got for lunch there?
What'd you eat?
Flounder?
I had, Panda Express, and I had some garlic chicken and pepper steak.
Oh, pepper steak and garlic chicken? Wow.
It was only $11. That's kind of that's a good deal, Uber-wise.
But still, $11 for lunch? Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But that's today's prices. I mean,
that is. I went to Wendy's and I ordered a single, and he gave me a double.
Really?
I think he liked the car.
Oh, well, there you are.
I had texted you guys on my way home that I was swinging by Chick-fil-A, and the line was out the door, so I went up, like Pete, I went up to Wendy's, and the drive-thru was long, so I parked the car, went inside, and there was 3 people in the back, or 4, and they were all doing something. Every single one of them looked at me and didn't do anything.
Kept doing it.
So I waited another minute, and then I left.
Yeah. Well, see, I just don't put up with that either. That's.
And again, they're focusing on the drive-through, and they're probably half have
This
people
will show
down.
no good deed goes unpunished. I went the Wells Fargo around the corner. And Wells Fargo doesn't have drive-throughs anymore.
Yeah, right.
So I go in.
Right.
It's the same Hispanic guy behind the counter. He's the one guy. They got one guy at the thing. They have 4 or 5 managers walking around. So there's a lady African American lady already working up the counter, doing Lakers business. She's doing the Hawks payroll or something. God knows what she's doing.
Yeah, there's
and
always
I'm
one.
standing there waiting behind her, and this elderly black man comes in with a cane. And I said, I'm in no big hurry. You step in front of me. Thank you, young man. Thank you, young man. Turns out he knows the woman that's doing the banking for the Lakers.
No. So they had a little conversation.
Not
didn't
only
they?
has she got a conversation going with the teller,
God.
she's got a conversation going with him.
Oh,
then the
boy.
little Hispanic cutie manager comes out and goes, what are you looking for? I need to get a cashier's check. And she goes, okay, he'll help you right up there. It's like, why don't you help me? But anyway,
no.
so wait, there's a conversation for 15 minutes.
Oh,
They're having,
God.
we
Come
knew.
on,
Well, I knew at the
people.
time, and I wasn't in a hurry, and I was just listening to their conversation. But it's like at some point, somebody in the bank, and she finally did come out and get somebody else to come up and help me. But
customer service is gone.
and one last thing, Scotty says the helicopters from the Army collided. That's why the flags are probably down.
Oh God, that's right.
Where-
I'm
I didn't
sorry,
hear
I'm
this.
embarrassed.
Where
no,
is
it was
this?
a training exercise, Fort Campbell, I think. I think it was the 101st
Nine?
Airborne, 9 dead.
Jeez. Where was this? Kentucky?
Yeah, I believe it was Fort Campbell, Kentucky, 101st Airborne, I believe, and they were doing it at night using night vision goggles, and 2 choppers collided. And
I thought they had warning things on the copters.
they do. I mean, believe me. But again, no, okay. I'm no, nighttime goggle helicopter pilot, but it's been in a situation where
I know.
it's
Fog of war.
It is. It is. Believe me, everything changes, and it changes instantly, and then nothing is the same.
You know what's funny? My friend Jeff, who lives out in Edenton, and is a construction worker, and all the time they're listening, back on the radio, they would listen to the show and everything, and it would just freak them out that he knew me. I've known him since I was 17. So anyway, so we're talking about you, and I said something about you saying something about a knife or something like that. Well, how the hell would he know? I go, well, he was a Marine. No, he wasn't.
The laughing guy.
You've known this guy for 30 years. You've listened to a radio. You don't know he's a Marine.
Well, see that.
How the hell does he know about that?
That's pretty funny. Oh, mercy. Oh, in fact, I may be I may be getting permission to tell an amusing and relative to today's podcast Marine Corps story later on. But first, more about the damn leftists. And again, I don't want to dwell on this, but we can't let this go. Jean-Pierre Zégine, 15, she's gay, she's black, she's a girl. She gets the opportunity once again to blame Republicans pretty much immediately after the killer tranny mowed down those innocent children and adults. Jean-Bien Datin Tran says, what I will say to Republicans in Congress is, what are you going to say to these parents? What are you Republicans in Congress going to say to these family members? We cannot sit around to this and let this happen anymore. That's enough is enough is enough. This president has taken more executive actions on gun violence safety than any president before him, and he's done all that in 2 years. But guess what? As we're seeing, we need to do more. And I've heard this theme throughout the morning, which is courage. We need Republicans in Congress to show some courage. We need gun safety laws, comprehensive safety laws. We need to ban assault rifles. These weapons of war do not belong in our streets. They do not belong in our schools. They aren't weapons of war, and they aren't assault rifles. They're one pull, one shot, just like every pistol ever made.
Yep.
God, every deer rifle, every 22 a rifle that I bought for my grandson is a one shot, one pull. I mean, every gun made that's the way they're made. Anyway, weapons of war. She's just been embarrassing herself. But again, that's what they freaking do. Now, on to President Biden. Flounder, if you will, sir. President Stupid was asked about the issue of Christians being targeted at the Christian school in Nashville. And the president showers with daughter thought it was pretty funny.
Hold on real quick. I got the wrong.
Okie dokie.
Which one is this? Biden laughs.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold
and then we'll do the one that I asked you to get late after that, and then we'll do the other one third.
Whoops.
Uh-oh, did you erase it?
Oh, we got breaking news here.
Oh, hey.
The Mets have just placed Justin Verlander on the IL with a low-grade teres major strain. I think it's a
What's
shoulder
teres
thing.
major?
It's an arm-shoulder thing, maybe?
Wow. The major's got to be a big muscle.
T-E-R-E-S, teres major? Where the hell's that? I think it's a shoulder.
I don't know.
But that's not good news for them either.
No. Well, it was he 38, isn't he?
He's
this
up
is
there.
40 years old. Isn't he 40 this year?
Him and Scherzer are up there at some point.
There you go. And he gave him, what, $40 million a year or
Gave him
something?
a lot, yeah.
Ay. Anyway.
All right. This is
All right. Again, President Stupid react about whether Christians were targeted.
I have no idea.
Josh Foley believes they were. What do you say to that?
Well, I probably don't then.
Probably don't.
No, I'm joking.
Well, it's kind of hard. He started laughing about whether if Josh Hawley said it was targeted Christians, and I disagree. No, I'm joking. What?
If Trump had done that.
How is it possible that his first inclination on the day when the children and those people are murdered is to think anything other than when they ask him a question about Christians murdered? Obviously he could have said we're investigating, we'll get to the bottom of it, whatever. Instead, he's like some doddering old fool trying to make a joke about it, like he's on the way to the gym. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's so unpresidential at a time when the country is going, are you kidding me? This tranny murdered children at a Christian school. A 9-year-old girl banged, shot, killed her, and the president's giggling about whether he agrees with Josh Hawley or not. Oh my God! And Flounder, do you have the late one that I asked you to get concerning his shopping habits? The president, when people started attacking President Showers with daughter about how he had such a lackadaisical attitude, he said he had other things on his mind. Almost immediately had things on his mind. It was right there in his mind. They were thinking about him.
Excellent driver. I got my boxer shorts at Kmart, Cincinnati.
That didn't quite come out too well.
Okay.
No problem. Now
It worked great in rehearsal.
well, yeah, you should have been there. You should. We told you to show up early, people,
This
and
live
you blew
shit.
it. By the way, it reminds me. One thing that drives me crazy about Glenn Beck. I mean, I listen to the guys at 106.3 every morning, 6 to 9, every 3 hours. With a couple of minutes exception. And I listen to Glenn Beck most of the morning while I'm getting everything ready to come down here and stuff. And the thing killing me about Glenn Beck, every other sentence is about, if you'd like to sign up for my show notes, I can get you the show notes on our podcast. Then he says, on the Glenn Beck podcast, we have the podcast tonight. We're going to do, and on Blaze TV, by golly, tonight on Blaze TV, you're going to do the whole spread. And I think, oh my God, it's just
Do the show.
Jeez,
It's all advertising.
What's
I
that?
haven't listened to Beck in years.
It's all advertising.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, now speaking of President Stupid, that other the last one. Here we go. Did you see? Now, okay. For the record, the president was going to appear somewhere, make some comments at a public event. So clearly, when he gets off the plane or the bus or out of the house or whatever it is, he has some guard or something saying, you're going to be over there at the podium over so and so. But this is the microphone actually picked up the discussion of the man who was guiding President Old Man Walks Like an Erector set to his spot where he was supposed to stand to make his comments. And I hope that you can understand the way the president's reacting to this guy giving him directions, if you haven't heard this before.
Right down here?
Yes, sir. Down the ramp. And we have people lined up
What?
on the left over here. Some union leaders and
Hey,
workers.
guys and ladies.
Doddering old fool.
Turn to the right.
Your mark is going to be the blue one to the left.
How y'all doing?
You've got a blue mark, and that's okay.
I'll stand my blue mark, and then I'm going to say load each one of you.
Yes, sir. I'll help you get started.
I'm going to stand in my blue mark and talk. I'm going to stand in my blue mark. Oh my God!
Turn to the left.
Jesus. I mean, I can't believe it.
Joe Rogan said in his podcast, we have a president that can't string a GD coherent sentence together and nobody's saying a word about it.
He doesn't know where he is. And by the way, he's trying to start a war with Israel, apparently. With
Israel?
With Netanyahu. He's now saying, you just got reelected again. He says, you got to stop this business. There's riots now in Israel because they're talking about the song. And Biden's now saying, well, you got to change for your people. I really think you're wrong about that.
Regime
I
change?
understand. Mind your own business.
Why are they rioting over there?
God, I mean,
I can't keep up with all the riots. The Dutch, the French,
I
the
don't
Israelis,
know.
us.
I don't
Hell,
know.
we should be rioting.
I know.
Why aren't we rioting? The Canadians did it last year. Good and dead.
All right, coming up in a second, I want to brag about one of our sponsors, not only for our buddies at Wise RV Glass, wiservglass.com to take care of your glass issues in your RVs and coaches and motorhomes. But I'm going to brag about one of our sponsors also about getting yourself a new ride, a new whip. And then we'll talk about, Pete's going to remind us about kind of some sad presidential news, and I have other presidential news. Well, the former president. You're going to. I don't want to give away now.
And I brought the photos.
And we have photos to remind us of something else coming up, and also
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, and don't say fizzizzle or whatever that phrase
I'm
is.
going to give you methods.
Yeah.
Methods to get Taylor Swift tickets.
Oh, well, there you are. And boy, is that a whole nother thing now. Oh, jeez. But first, swapmywhip.com. Whip, of course, is a colloquial phrase for a ride. Swapmywhip.com is a way for you to be driving along and see a car you've always liked. Or you think of it in your head, boy, I've always wanted to have that, 97 Mustang convertible, whatever. Well, you go to swapmywhip.com. You may find a person with just that car or one like it that you know about him. He may want yours or have a friend has one who does. You do your own deal. There's no middleman. There's no dealership. There's no salespeople. You make your own deal. Find out what's going on out there. It is so easy. Just go to swapmywhip.com. And it's not just cars, obviously trucks and station wagons, SUVs, vehicles with also boats, jet skis, off-road vehicles, ATVs, probably go-karts, scooters, motorcycles. Check it out. If it's a ride, it counts, including boats and Sea-Doos and stuff like that. Trade it with your own deal, and if you use the coupon code KIMMER, KIMMER, you get 180 days of free premium listings on swapmywhip.com, which we think is absolutely fantastic. Now, let's see.
Did I miss anything?
No, not really. No, not a bit. What were you doing over there?
I watch an old man wandering around out there.
Oh, well, no, that's even better. Let's see, where am I? Hold on. Here we go. Speaking of presidential stuff, and Pete's going to do a follow-up story here about some sad presidential news, but we'll hold that for a second. Our friends at Babylon Bee have reminded us now, because of the recent controversy concerning digital blackface, and that now if you use an old famous black phrase and you're not black, you are clearly a racist, and it's called being a digital blackface racist. Well, now, Dateline, College Station, Texas. A local man found himself embroiled in controversy today as he was accused of perpetuating digital orange face after sharing a Donald Trump meme on Twitter. I had no idea I was doing anything insensitive, said Andrew Schoaf. I was just replying to somebody's tweet with a GIF of Trump leaning into the podium microphone and saying, wrong, but I guess I'm not allowed to do that because I'm white, and there's just no way I can do anything except immediately apologize. It was not accepted by the online community. There's no excuse for this behavior, said Travis Brewerly of the Coalition to End Appropriation of Orange People Culture. Orange people have suffered in too many indignities throughout history to have white oppressors using them for jokes. These types of memes should be reserved for use only by other members of the orange community. Be better. White people have taken enough from people of color, though, said Tammy, a local woman who is now orange from spray tan abuse. These memes belong to us, not you. Internet users from around the globe, though, were scrambling to adjust to a world in which they were no longer allowed to use Donald Trump GIFs. which surprisingly make up a reported 96% of all GIFs shared on the World Wide Web. Is a GIF for GIF? Idiot. Orange faces. And now some sad news.
Oh, is it my turn? Sorry. Dateline Plains, Georgia.
Yes.
Calling the split entirely amicable and long overdue, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter confirmed their divorce to the press in a statement released Tuesday. Frankly, we both couldn't be more excited to put our respective past behind us and embark on the next chapter of our lives, read a joint statement released by the 98-year-old former president and 95-year-old former first lady, confirming that the two would remain friends and still held fondness in their hearts for all they had been through together, but that they simply realized it was time for something new. Even the strongest 76-year marriage can't handle all the trials and tribulations that come with time. It's important for us to step apart from one another so we can continue to grow. Jimmy already has a fantastic bachelor pad set up across town. More than anything, this makes us both so thrilled to see what the future has in store for us in terms of life and love. At press time, a spokesperson for Jimmy Carter confirmed the president had already matched with a 21-year-old nursing student on Tinder and planned a date to grab drinks later this week.
I wonder what Rosalind's doing this weekend.
The old onion right there.
Take her the old Kimmer walk down Love Boulevard.
Okay, how sick is that? Knowing that he could die any
Yeah, he's
second,
gonna
and
die
the
any
onion,
minute.
the onion puts that out.
I know. Well, that's
I
what
was
they
curious
do.
about that because he was put in hospice like a month ago.
Well, Joe DiMaggio they
Well,
put in
yeah.
and sent him home to die, and the sucker lived another 6 months.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not dead yet. Yes, you are.
You're almost dead.
You're not fooling anybody, you know. You'll be stone cold in a moment.
And then he takes a shovel to him, if I recall. Then he hit him with a shovel.
Can't you do anything? I'm not back till
do this.
Thursday.
Try this. See if that worked. Did you hear about the girl anchor chick in Mississippi who made the mistake of quoting Snoop Dogg? This is just unbelievable. This woman's her name is Barbie Bassett. And she was on the air doing a morning show, joking around with her co-anchors on an NBC affiliate, WLBT. They were talking about collaborating during a segment about what's his name, Snoop Dogg's segment with his business venture called Snoop Cali Blanc, his fourth California wine. I guess it's Cali Blanc. Wine, Snoop's wine, New California wine. So the catchphrase that she used was popularized when she said, talking about Snoop's new wine, she said, "Faux shizzle, my nizzle." The catchphrase was popularized by Snoop Dogg, with nizzle being slang for the N-word.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Bassett is no longer listed on the station's website, and she removed any mention of it from her Facebook page. Apparently, she had to apologize, as the general manager said, "Well, we are unable to comment on personnel matters, but we are making no comment about this." Although girl Bassett was defended by that black radio guy, Charlemagne Thugad. She might not even know what nizzle means, yo. Come on, stop. That's not a reason to fire that woman.
No, it's a lawsuit.
Again, she works in Mississippi. She previously drew controversy for referencing a black reporter's grandmammy during a segment last fall. She apologized for the offensive remark, and to the reporter for whom it was addressed, she was the first meteorologist in the network's history, worked as a news anchor for won awards for her work, including Favorite Media Personality, is a graduate of Mississippi College, has a Master's of Science, Mississippi State, is on the board of multiple charities, teaches 2-year-olds in Sunday school. She has 3 kids and grew up on a farm. And she made the mistake of using the phrase, well, I hope your grandmammy's doing okay. And that was offensive.
She has done zero wrong, but except being white.
Yep, that's
She's
right.
She's white.
And she quoted Snoop Dogg as they were giving him praise on his new business venture, "Faux sizzle, my nizzle." And I guarantee she had no inclination to be racist or offensive or anything. But again,
Open season on
it's
us.
unbelievable.
They're hunting us in packs.
I mean,
Is that ridiculous, that sound?
I know. Have you heard about the No Yelling Loser Boot Camp? This is going to be great. Hold on a second. But did I get it? Did I get it
What
here?
would you know about boot camp?
Very funny. That's hysterical.
That's so funny. And no clue you were a Marine.
He listened for 30. How can he? I mean, and I don't bring it up, but
He's
it
from
comes
Iowa.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like. I don't know. That's hysterical.
The funniest part, some of his construction workers, they were laughing and everything and said something, and he made some derogatory comment about me. And so you wouldn't say to his face, he says, I'll call him right now. He put me on the phone, and I gave it to the guy. I said, what the hell do you want? I'm trying to do a show.
I love it. Well, now there's basic training in the Army, a new boot camp prep course, which is basically basic training without any yelling. The new program in the military branch of the Army coddles overweight, out of shape, and intellectually challenged recruits in a 3-month training course that offers physical and academic instruction to wannabe cadets before they go to Army boot camp. One second-class girl named Deza Holiday said she improved her test scores after signing up. The dumbed-down course amounts to basic training without the yelling, she said. They have thousands of members at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Because of their dwindling recruiting numbers, it's fallen like 30 or 40%. But veterans and lawmen and everybody say this military hand-holding effectively lowers the quality of soldiers that end up serving in the Army. Others say this new Pansy boot camp prep course amounts to a bunch of wimps. No yelling at boot camp. We're creating a cadre weak soldiery. So now the U.S. government becomes the coddling mother whose baby never did anything wrong. The program involves classroom, fitness, and discipline training, and instructions on everything from how to make a bed to wearing a uniform correctly, which help graduates get a leg up in boot camp. Certain young individuals who show a bit more leadership skills than others get selected to have leadership positions. What we're seeing is kids coming out of the prep course that are being chosen for that. Anyway, they already lowered the annual fitness test standards to allow other soldiers and more women to pass. They got rid of having to run 1.5 miles. God forbid. The Navy's setting up a similar program at the Naval Great Lakes Naval Station in Illinois. I have a pin from there. Air Force officials are deploying other recruitment tools as well, and they're not ruling out that kind of thing at all. And so here we go. It's bouquet. And I will say this. I'll say this. Well, it's just
request.
Okay. All right, but the other thing is, if you've seen some of the hearings the last couple of days, the Army, that stupid General Silly Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's more concerned with pronouns and podium and pedicures, admitted that, we didn't know we were having tranny meetings on Army bases. Did you know this? The Pentagon is paying money to have transsexual shows, trannies dancing, drag queen shows on bases. Yeah. And he said, "No, that's not. We don't." And the Secretary of Defense, who used to be a defense contractor, that's how he got his job, says, "Oh no, well that's not in our budget." Yes, it is. You're paying for it anyway. Now, for the record, at Parris Island, when I got there. At Parris Island, there were like 5 or 6 of us guys who were. I was always what you call husky. I was never fat or obese, but I was always. I was athletic, but I was always, I was not sculpted. I was 10 or 15 pounds overweight. I think when I got to Parris Island, I was probably weighed 205, something like that. And I was athletic, but I was, I wasn't thin. There was a guy named Wildman. His last name was Wildman, and he was a bodybuilder, and he was sculpted, but he was big. The two of us, and there were 4 or 5 other guys, were put on what's called the fat body platoon. It was the same platoon, right? But whenever we went to a chow hall, this is what we had to do. We got to a chow hall, we had to go to the back of the line, so we were the last ones to eat. And you had, at Parris Island, you had like 4 minutes to eat and get back at attention. Anyway, so we were the last ones to eat. I was allowed to only have water, meat, and vegetables. No milk, no desserts, no bread, no rolls, no cream for anything. Water, vegetables, and meat. period. Three meals a day. And I had to be inspected by the drill instructor for the first couple of weeks. I had to report to the drill instructor with my tray of meat and vegetables and water. And I lost 30 pounds in almost no time. And then, as it turned out, it didn't last forever, but it's the way. But even made the bodybuilder. Lost like 15 or 20 pounds of muscle. I mean, which I thought was amazing. But if you were bigger than they wanted you to be at Paris Island, you were in the, you got fit for it. So eventually, the end of the story was, so that's what I went through for several weeks. By the end, we got to the chow hall one day, and I started to spin to go out, and Drillinger said, blank, mother blanking, blank, blank, where do you think you're going, blankety, blank? I said, sir, the end of the line here. He says, squad leaders don't go to the end of the line, asshole. And become a squad leader. So I didn't know long. And then I could, and for the first time in like 10 weeks, I could eat, I had an ice cream sandwich for dessert at the mess hall. You don't think I remember? I remember the minute when I got a roll and potatoes going through the line for the chow. For the first time in like 8 or 10, anyway, whatever. So that's my fat body story. And a bodybuilder, actually, too. By the way, now the new rules for the Pentagon are you can join the Air Force now and be any gender you want to be. So that's a whole new slogan for that.
I thought that was always their slogan.
That's pretty much always
That's how Wayne got in.
Wayne, no offense. He's a warrior. He was in Iraq. He was. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or Afghanistan, which I think.
What did he know about?
No, he was in Gulf War I.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He was.
91 or what was that? 91 or 2?
Is that when he saw the ghost? His ghost story?
I don't think.
in
Yeah,
the
he
barracks?
does. He has a. Did we
ghost?
see his picture? Did he take a picture of it?
No, I don't think he took a picture of it. But he said it was in the barracks and it was a ghost. He
Yeah.
saw a ghost.
Yeah, I can't remember. We should ask him. A couple of quick things which I think are bizarre. Did you see the video of the guy in California who he was driving his car, got in a wreck. The state police show up, and they're investigating the wreck. The guy in the wreck gets into a state police patrol car and steals it.
Yeah.
And he's racing off down the highway in a state police car. And so they're chasing him. Up ahead, they put some of those crash sticks, what do you call them, the spike sticks in the road. He went over the spike sticks. The wheel came flying off in the back. And there's video of all of this.
Yeah.
And you see the video of the guy driving. And then all of a sudden, the car door opens. And he's like this. And he jumps out and goes tumbling, bang, bang, boom, and he's dead. He died.
That's kind of hard to kill yourself unless you hit your head, I guess.
Holy! Well, he was going. The highest of the speed was something like 80 miles an hour, or 77 miles an hour, and then at 46 miles an hour, he slowed down to 46 and jumped out of the car, but immediately banged backward and then went tumbling, and they showed up
Broke his neck, I guess.
Oh yeah, and I saw the video of the full video before they edited it. It's brutal.
Yeah, I can't watch that. No.
But again, how do you explain that? Death by suicide
jumped
by
out of
cop?
the car and then-
Well, I mean, but he
Very
must
easily
have,
explained.
He must have known that's going to
Not only that,
hurt.
he jumped in the middle of the road.
But you know that's got to hurt, right? I mean, why would you do that? If you're
I
going
thought you just like Bugs Bunny. You just you catch yourself on your heels.
Wile E. Coyote, you just
slide.
bounce back up again or something, you know?
It's like if you're falling off a cliff and you're on a rock. Wait till the last second and step off the rock.
Right. The rock will land and you'll be higher up than the rock. And a quick thing here in Ackworth, high-speed pursuit, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. A state trooper, Old Alabama Road, went into Cobb County. Two guys on motorcycles were speed racing, drag racing. The cops started following him. And one of the guys, went at a high speed, went flying through the intersection, Ackworth Boulevard and Cobb Parkway, banged into a car that was turning and died and killed himself at the scene. And the person he hit in the car almost got killed and has life-threatening injuries. But again, freaking motorcycle rider being chased by cops at night in the dark, racing through intersections. What the hell you think is going to happen? How could you think you're going to get? I don't get it. Let's laugh at California one more quick time before we leave for the week. The cost now of the California reparations bill, and they are legitimately discussing this, and they are now legitimately discussing that $5 million a piece.
And we're talking the city or the state?
California,
The state.
the state,
They're insane.
yeah, $5 million a piece would cost $800 billion, which is 2.5 times their entire yearly budget. the whole state. And the activists who are leading this reparations demand are saying, $5 million is really not enough. And in fact, no, I swear to God, that's really nowhere
why
near
wouldn't
enough.
they say it?
And that doesn't even count the $1 million per older black resident to get an extra $1 million because they're older and suffered longer. The figure also does not count the compensation for people whose property was unjustly taken or had their businesses devalued because they were black. And they say, well, we just have to figure out a way to make this happen. That's all.
Why wouldn't they ask for more? The idiot white people are handing them $5 million. Why wouldn't they ask for
what?
more?
I hope to God they get it.
Yes,
I hope
please.
to God. I will laugh
Move
my
there.
ass off. But can you imagine what's going to
If
happen?
I'm black, I'd be moving there.
Can you imagine how long would it take for the only way they'd have to pay for it would be by jacking up everything. Every tax on every property tax, school tax, milk, retail tax, sales. Everything would have to go mile high. $800 billion. $800 billion. That's 880% of $1 trillion. So what business could afford to stay open? They would all shut down. It wouldn't last a week.
But here's the thing, that we think it's crazy. It's not. This is the plan. Sow division between the tribes and crash the system. That's what they're doing. They're literally crashing the system so they can show up and go, that one didn't work. We've got this new shiny thing called socialism. Let's try that.
I don't understand. The country's going nuts. Speaking of woke stuff, did you hear about the snuggling goats? This is unbelievable. There's a guy who owns a family farm in Pennsylvania. Okay, his name is Justin Steinmetz, and he is now getting ripped because of a little thing he does on the family farm. He's been known in recent months for having his baby goats go to fairs and birthday parties, retirement parties, old folks' homes, things like that. And he brings his baby goats so that the people at these gatherings can snuggle with them, like playing with puppies. That's what it is. He brings his baby goats, and they go, man, they're a little cute before they... By the way, goats, when they get older, are to be avoided. They will butt you and bite. Honestly, if there's a goat, he's going to hit you in the ass with his horn. He's going to run down, bam, he's going to hit you. And they just do. They can't help it. I'm sorry, they can't help it. Baby goats are snuggly little creatures. So he takes his baby goats to places where people would want them to be. He's had baby goats to fairs and birthday parties so people can snuggle with them. It's a big hit everywhere he goes, and all of a sudden, boom. He's supposed to bring his goats to 2 festivals celebrating plant-based diets and lifestyles, okay? The vegan type people. He's going to bring his goats for snuggling to the 2 fairs celebrating plant-based diets and lifestyle until all of a sudden they started getting emails and phone calls saying that snuggling with baby goats exploits the animals and is unfair to the animals.
Is that also goat yoga? Because they use it for yoga too.
Yeah, that's right. And so they've asked him not to come and don't bring your goats for snuggling because it exploits the freaking animals. I mean, my God. He's going to events in New Jersey and others in Pennsylvania, state fairs.
Tell them no, I'm coming
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean,
I'm sitting up across the street from you, and I'll have people walk across the street to snuggle with my goats.
I know,
And flip you off the whole time.
Again, you and I would do that to make a point. It's like the man weightlifter showing up to set the women's weightlifting record in UK. But this guy's just a nice old farmer. He's a nice farmer, and he brings his goats for people to feel better. What possible asshole could find something wrong with that?
Someone had to horn in on his situation.
I mean, really,
Well, it would behoove them not to
somebody's
do that.
making the goat of him. But really, what kind of an ill-tempered, self-loathing, nasty, black-hearted, unhappy, probably a white woman, probably
Yeah,
some
a white
25-year-old Smith graduate who's angry about everything for
trying
good
to-
reason because of who she
Trying
is.
to milk this situation.
Jesus. My God.
You know what there is? They're fed up with it.
Oh, man. Hey, hi-yo.
He's on the lamb now.
No, thank you so much. That's my first bell ringer. I'm a bell ringer. Let me ask you what you do. Speaking of eating with vegan meals, and of course my daughter Jennifer has this whole, what's that thing where you get buy the special products?
Huh?
Vegan. Well, I forgot. She's going to kill me.
What?
Jennifer sells all these products for keto.
Amway.
No, keto. She's a keto girl.
Oh, keto. Okay.
Keto. Right. Anyway, speaking of food, what would you do? Here's the story. Dear Abby, I was at a semi-formal, that's important, I was at a semi-formal dinner party with my wife and 5 other couples. During the first course, I found a large green caterpillar alive in my salad. What's the best way to handle this type of situation? Finding a live, large green caterpillar in your salad at a semi-formal dinner party. Lots of couples, lots of people.
I don't eat it.
What do you do?
I don't eat it. I push it to the side and say I'm not into a salad.
Or don't have to say anything. Just push it. Just don't eat it.
Don't eat
you don't have to explain.
A
Flounder, what
caterpillar's
do you
not
do?
going to eat that much.
I wouldn't make a scene either. I do the same thing, but I would let them know afterwards what I.
Here's what I think. I think what I would do would clearly not eat. I mean, I would put it aside, and I think I would probably get up and maybe try to find a waiter or a maitre d' or somebody and say, by the way, you may want to make sure that nobody else has. I mean, I'd be concerned that if I had one, it might be 100 of them.
The restaurant needs to pick up all the salad, so you probably
you
should tell them. So
I would
just
get
come
up
pick up all the
quietly
salad.
and say, "There's a thing," and I don't know what you want to do about it, but I'm just letting you know. Here's what Dear Abby said. I can't believe this. The guy, eat the thing. It's not going to kill you.
It's just protein.
You put something else in your mouth all the time. I don't know why you don't put the cigarette or anything. Girls who smoke, I'm just saying. Girl smokers are good kissers. If they'll put a hot burning set of leaves in their mouth. Well, anyway. Dear Yikes, it goes without question that the uninvited visitor be evicted. A way to do that without embarrassing your host would be to quietly pick the critter up, excuse yourself from the table, and release it into the wild out a window or the back door. If you are a devout animal lover, take a bit of lettuce with you so it won't go hungry. Are you kidding me? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Pick it up in your hands and say, excuse me, I'm going to take this caterpillar outside to save me a little lettuce if you don't mind. No, you put it, you go tell somebody so they can decide what they want.
But if there's a caterpillar in it, there may be other things too. No one should be eating that salad.
No, that's what I mean. You got to tell somebody that there's something wrong with your food.
Nudge the person next to you. Go, pass it along. Don't eat the salad.
Salad bad. Ixnay on the Alizé with the Onay Ide.
And the host looks up and no one's touched the salad.
paying the Attakiller paying the Alizé.
No one touched their salad. Or this is what you did. Remember who made the salad? Who made the salad? Who made the salad? Caesar made the salad. Caesar made
the salad. Slowly I trained. You want to hear about a bad day?
Sure. Besides this one.
And I did not, this is a true story, and I did not know this. The date, March 30th, 1750. He was the eye surgeon to the stars, with such luminaries as Britain's King George II and the Pope as satisfied clients, or so he claimed. In reality, though, a man named John Taylor was little more than a self-promoting quack, an instance of how far impudence will carry ignorance, as the famed writer Samuel Johnson described him. With the adopted title Chevalier or Ophthalmaliator Royal, Taylor rode from town to town in 1750 in a carriage emblazoned with painted eyeballs, made grandiose speeches before gathered crowds at each surgery, and left a long trail of blinded people in his wake. One of them was Johann Sebastian Bach. The great composer had long suffered from poor eyesight, but as his condition worsened, he had the misfortune of meeting the itinerant tailor who had just arrived in Leipzig to great fanfare. On March 30th, 1750, the celebrity oculist plunged his sharpened instruments into the musical genius's eyes. Then, this is Bach we're talking about. Then he applied a healing poultice of pigeon's blood, pulverized salt, and a dash of mercury. After several days, the procedure was repeated to no avail. Bach was left entirely sightless and in excruciating pain. 4 months later, he was dead. But Chevalier Taylor was by no means finished with the world's greatest composers. 8 years later, he permanently blinded Handel, as in Handel's Messiah. This one guy blinded Johann Sebastian Bach and Handel's Messiah. Oh, my God.
Beethoven's going, something wrong with my ear, Doc. Could you take a look?
Jeez. That's unbelievable.
Kimmer,
Yeah.
are you tired of arriving to surprises at your weekend cabin?
I was going to ask you if you had a solution. I can't go to the weekend cabin because God knows what's going to be up there.
If you got a mountain home you're having trouble maintaining, we'll call North Georgia Intendancy. We can manage your North Central Georgia vacation, weekend, or rental house so you can relax at yours. Visit us at ngaintendancy.com or call 770-595-6664. That's 770-595-6664 for NGA Intendancy.
Intendancy. That's a tough word, so we'll get it right for you. Just make sure you can do the thing there. Before I move my birthdays and some historical stuff, and Flounder, let me see. Did I ask you? Oh, did you get the thing I asked you to get for the thing of the kid? Well, it's not right now. It'll be in a few minutes. Okay, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
Get off this bag.
It's the speech for the anyway. Okay, Pete. Taylor Swift tickets.
Taylor Swift tickets. I'm glad you asked.
Now, the issue is, once again, and she's all in an uproar because I guess as a ticket master that's charging $500
They're
a piece.
crooks,
and
in my
they
opinion.
make sure only certain people can get them. I mean, there's a whole nightmare scandal going on
it's
with
horrible.
Taylor Swift tickets. For one thing, she's so damn popular. I mean, literally,
I don't know why.
she would have millions of people in the audience.
People are
Literally
doing
millions.
anything to get these tickets.
She could have a concert every day at every stadium in America, and they would still have. What's the place that holds the biggest number of people? L.A. Coliseum, maybe, or
Coliseum,
something.
maybe.
I mean, she could do one a day, and they would never be satisfied.
Well, that pretty much shows where we are in America talent-wise, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think she's got great talent. I hate what she stands for, but I like to kiss her on the mouth. I mean, I like her music. I'm sorry, that slipped out. That was a whole nother. We'll erase that part.
She's like a pine tree with lips.
No, she's got a great mouth. She's got a great face. I mean, I have to keep her shoes on, and she's too skinny, and she's like 6'8" or something, but she's definitely, whatever. Okay.
The Onion has found some people who have managed to get tickets
Have they?
and asked them, how did you get the tickets?
How in the world can you get Taylor Swift?
Shannon's an interior designer, and she said, it's possible I killed someone. I blacked out listening to Shake It Off and woke up with 2 bloody tickets.
Shake it off, shake it off.
Scott is a stockbroker. He says, since Taylor is my daughter, his name's Scott Swift.
Oh.
Since Taylor's my daughter, she gave me a code that entered me into a lottery that eventually scored me 2 seats, 30 rows apart at $18,000 cash.
Her dad, yeah. That's when he made me come home for 10 o'clock curfew when I was a junior in high school.
Fred's a podiatrist. My lawyers have advised me not to discuss this pending the outcome of the trial. Melanie's a waitress. So many are dead. So many. But I got to hear Cruel Summer live, so it was worth it. Haim, Haim, is the band. Is a band.
Okay.
Girl band. Since we're opening for Taylor, she generously offered to let the 3 of us split 1 ticket. Stanley's a bricklayer. You can get anything from a celebrity if you've dug up enough dirt on their powdered heroin addiction. Grace is a nurse. Super fast internet connection, the reflexes of a cat, and a mountain of cocaine. Mike is a long-haul trucker. Our last Teamsters contract guaranteed a minimum of 4 Taylor Swift tickets per year, and they have to be floor seats.
By the way, she does not like cocaine. She just likes the way it smells. So again, that's not. Hold that against her.
Ticket purchasing bot.
No.
Just logged on to Ticketmaster, waited my turn, and purchased every single ticket fair and square. Michael Rapinoe is CEO of Live Nation Entertainment.
Oh boy.
Says, it was pretty easy, actually. Teresa is a metaphysical shop owner. My coven amped up the blood rituals ahead of the pre-sale.
Blood rituals.
And Greg is an attorney. May God forgive me for what I have done.
It's a phenomenon. Honest to God, this is more than the Beatles. I mean, really.
Yeah,
Maybe not. But
the
I
hype
suppose.
is more, I
Yeah.
think, is what's going on. With
Yeah,
it.
and well, it's lasted so long, and she was, and you got, I mean, and apparently she does everything. She choreographs the routines. She tells the dancers. She does all the music selection. I mean, she runs the whole thing apparently, which is fairly hard to believe. Yeah. But good for her. But again, what she stands for is hideous.
Well, the one thing is that kind of sucks is this is a huge stadium tour, so I'm sure she's not singing. She's probably lip singing. I'm assuming.
Does she do it? I've never seen her. Is she moving around, jumping around?
I mean, it's more of entertainment, like because she has dance moves and stuff. Like it's very entertaining, but I just don't know if she's actually singing.
Well, she probably can't. You can't keep your breath from jumping around all the time.
Also, I don't know if you've seen it, Field and Stream, and Facebook posted this from Field and Stream magazine.
Yeah, I used to get that as a kid.
A video, a python decided it was going to eat a small furry animal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it picked on the wrong small furry animal. Which animal would you think would not put up with a snake trying to eat one of its own?
Wolverine, maybe?
Close. What's known for killing snakes?
Oh, the
Cats.
the
Ricky Tikki Tavi?
yeah, not muskrat,
Mouse, rats?
No, the python against the it was in the
It's the
James
cobra.
Bond movie, the cobra, yeah, but the spitting no,
What
God,
kills snakes?
I know.
It's Ricky Tikki Tavi from Jungle Book.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
3,
I'm
2,
sorry.
1.
Like in the mirror, I can see the little animal right there.
Meerkat.
No,
Starts
it's-
with an M. You're on the.
oh God!
Mum,
I
mum,
can't-
mum, mum.
It won't come out.
Mongoose.
Mongoose.
Mongoose. God.
This python
I
attacked
hate
a
that.
mongoose, and the rest of the family jumped it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a video of it.
All the mongooses going after the
Yeah,
python.
the mongoose going nuts.
Oh man.
Have you ever seen them go after the cobras and everything? God.
Unbelievable.
They're
How they be that quick?
Yeah. By the way, I sent something to you over the weekend. I don't know if I sent it to Flounder too. Someone posted a picture of Dana Delaney, who's
Yes.
almost 70 years old.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's 40.
Yeah.
And just hot as hell.
And she wasn't it the 80 when
China
it was like
Beach?
88 or something? The China Beach. I used to watch that. I think that was in the 80s.
I thought it was the 80s. She's
85,
70.
86 or something. Yeah.
Almost 70. She was
So that
hot
was
in her 20s.
50 years ago.
She was in Tombstone. She was hot in Tombstone.
That was in the 80s. Yeah. Wow.
So I was walking down the street. The houses were numbered. The numbers were 64K, 128K, 256K, 512K, and 1 MB.
Wow.
It was a trip down memory lane.
Memory lane, ladies and gentlemen.
Send that one to Mike. Mike will probably like that
Yeah, well, yeah, my trip's going backwards.
one. Guess what community college, has installed urinals in the women's bathrooms?
Probably the one Joe Biden teaches at.
No, you're very familiar with this school.
Oh, Arizona State?
Arizona
State. Good, but good. Oh, my God.
And they said the women are going in there and thinking, oh my God, I'm in the wrong bathroom, and they're turning around and
Right.
leaving.
They're the only one to let me in when I came back from the Marines, so I can't, and I... Yeah, whatever.
Phoenix, University of Phoenix wasn't
No,
open?
no, Arizona State, and I graduated in the top 10% of my class in full honors and scholarships, and I taught and got scholarships as a graduate.
Okay. Smithsonian Magazine. Get this. There are whales alive today and swimming around who were born before Moby Dick was written, which was 1840s
Wow.
and 50s.
Oh, that can't be true.
Do whales live that long?
150-year-old whales? I don't think so.
No, they'd be 180 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Do they live that long?
I had no idea. I thought tortoises were the only thing that lived over 100 years.
Well, they got the Greenland shark, which swims around Antarctica. It supposedly lives hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years.
Isn't that the same area where they have animals down and they don't even know what they are?
They have no clue what the hell they've got going on. My friend asked if I had to include vegetables in all my sentences. I said not necessarily.
Yeah. Oh, hey, hi-oh. I
I
don't really care for that joke at all, to be honest with you.
You did? All right. I wasn't going to get a brain transplant,
No.
but then I changed my mind.
Change your mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop whenever I want. How about some birthdays?
All right, birthdays. Give us some birthdays.
Warren Beatty, my God, the man is 86. Eric Clapton, 78 years old. The only guy, I think he's the only guy in 3 different reasons for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, with the Yardbirds, Cream, and by himself. Paul Reiser, I used to like him in Mad About You, 67.
Strange. He's in Strange. What's that show on Netflix? It's
Oh,
filmed here in Atlanta.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Mall.
MC Hammer, I can't touch this, 61 today.
You can't touch this.
Somebody can't. Celine Dion, 53. I like her.
Too legit to quit.
To
Have
quit.
you
There
seen
go.
Celine Dion lately?
No. She
She
getting
looks
pretty
like-
big, is she?
No, she's like 100, not even 100 pounds.
Oh, my
she's like a
God.
stick figure. It's
Really?
bad. It's really bad.
Oh, my.
She has
My
some
wife
kind of illness or disease.
I once shared an elevator with MC Hammer at Old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
Really? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you say anything to him, or did he say
No,
anything?
it was crowded
It was
elevator.
entourage.
And his entourage was in there. It's
Yeah.
me and the entourage, yeah.
Yeah. MC, how's it going? What it is? Hey, my shizzle, my nizzle. Yeah, that would have worked. Peter Marshall, God bless. I used to love Peter Marshall. He's one of the great game show hosts.
Yeah.
Peter Marshall is 97.
His son,
Right.
you know his son?
I don't.
Played first base for the Royals.
Oh, yes, I do. I remember seeing him.
What, remember his name?
No, I do. Brett, no, I do.
Pete?
Oh, God, I remember seeing him.
First name Pete. It was a French name.
Pierre? No, I
No,
don't.
Pete Lecoq.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And that was his offspring. Piers Morgan, the guy is now back on Fox quite a bit. He's 58. NFL free agent Richard Sherman, formerly great player, is 35. Is he even playing anymore? He's
No,
pretty
no.
much
In
gone.
fact, he's on like the Thursday night talks on those things.
John Aston, if you ever watch the Adams TV show, Adams Show, he played Gomez. John Aston with a goofy little mustache and a kind of this seedy little beady-eyed grin.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great character. John Aston is 93. He also was one of the Riddlers on Batman on TV. His stepson is actor Sean Aston from Goonies and Rudy and various Lord of the Rings.
You're being nice calling him an actor.
He's the son. Actually, the actor Sean Aston is Patty Duke's son. Yeah. When John Aston married Patty Duke, he adopted her son as his own. Mm-hmm. A couple of historical things. 1981. This day, you remember President Reagan left the Washington Hilton Hotel with the son of a wealthy oil tycoon when John Hinckley shot the president, as press chief James Brady, the Secret Service agent, policeman. That was 1981.
Where
on
were
this
you?
day.
Where were you when that happened?
1981, I was.
No, when you heard that he'd been shot.
I was in San Francisco.
What were you doing?
I was working in San Francisco as a TV reporter.
I mean, the instant. I mean, you don't remember what
Yeah.
you were doing when you heard he was shot?
Yeah.
So he was doing a live shot or something? Okay.
I had to think about it for a second. I remember where I was when Kennedy got shot. I remember where I was when his killer got shot. Anyway, going back to 1867, America buys Alaska from Russia for 2 cents an acre, $7.2 million in 1867. Let's see. 1840. Was it 8? Let me get my thing on here. 1842. Have you ever smelled ether? Actual ether?
Oh, yeah.
Flounder, have you ever smelled? I'll bet you never smelled ether.
no.
We
haven't used that in
soak
years.
towels with it and put it in the floorboard so it'd waft up as we drove.
Oh, really? Make you so you run off the road and stuff.
That's from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, ether, the old-fashioned ether. I've smelled it. I remember when our Dr. Robinson used to make house calls, and he was the guy.
Unexpectedly.
And he was the guy who sponsored our Little League team, if I remember correctly. And I remember smelling ether through him. One guy in Atlanta smelled ether for the first time on this day in 1842, used in an operation to keep him passed out. 1842, the doctor who did it, Dr. Crawford Long. Racist. I think they have to take his name off everything now, I think. Because
Really?
one time he said something about the Confederacy, I think. 1964, astronaut John Glenn was running for the U.S. Senate. Remember now, this is what happened in 1964. John Glenn was running for the U.S. Senate when he took a bad fall and realized he was not really capable of doing the job, so he withdrew from the Senate race. Until Democrats made sure that no one knew about his debilitating injury, a stroke with brain damage, depression so bad he just wanted to kill himself and couldn't even get out of bed or do the work or think of anything, but he couldn't stop crying and just wanted to end his life every minute. So his switch-hitting wife said, "I'll do it, honey, I'll do it. You go to the hospital." And the Dems elected him anyway to pretend to be a senator from his hospital bed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I mean, that was John Fetterman. I got mixed up on my senators. Yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's back when senators had, like, I don't know, scruples,
character,
moral.
War hero, astronaut, Marine officer. 1858, a Philadelphia genius named Herman named Herman Lippmann invented the first pencil with an eraser. For the record, how far do you think you would draw if you took an average number 2 pencil and you put it down on a piece of paper and were able to draw until the entire pencil was gone? How far would you be able to draw the line of a number 2 pencil? 35 miles.
Huh.
Is that unbelievable?
That you'd put up with it that long.
To walk 35 miles.
After a mile or so, you go, okay, I get it.
That's over. All right, Flounder, if you would, sir, if you get that thing ready for me here, if you don't mind. It was a landmark decision in 1999. A jury in Portland, Oregon, ordered Philip Morris to pay damages to the family of a man who died after smoking Marlboros for 40 years. They gave him $81 million. And if you don't know who Philip Morris is, visualize with me now as we play for you. Visualize, and you can Google this if you want, a little boy in one of those bellman little boy outfits with a little hat that monkeys used to wear in the side grinders on the sidewalks. The little boy with a red buttoned-up bellboy uniform and a little hat on would sing this song.
Only the beginning, folks. Wait to see what's coming up next. And just a reminder, for a good time, anytime, light up a Philip Morris. And remember this, the Philip Morris smoker really gets what other smokers only hope to get. Better taste, finer flavor, perfect smoking pleasure. So for perfect smoking pleasure, call for Philip Morris! And for perfect entertainment, well, just look what's coming.
Call for Philip. I remember that as a kid.
Okay, he has a New York accent.
Little boy.
Up until he sings, and all of a sudden he's Southern.
I know, but again, he's like
Hillary Clinton.
He's like 8.
Yeah.
He's a 9-year-old kid.
It's a perfect thing. It's perfect.
Get these Philip Morris cigarettes, and everybody smoked. Yeah. I mean, I still feel like it once in a while, just for that. I won't, but I could. Anyway, thank you, Flounder, for getting that. I got the biggest kick out of that. Everything was smoking. Arthur Godfrey and Mike Wallace. Edward R. Murrow smoked while they were. Dick Van Dyke used to smoke on the TV show until they said, "Oh, we got to stop doing that."
Another TV show that highlied that back in that time area was Mad Men.
Yeah.
Because they would smoke and drink all during all during the day.
That was the true 50s. That was 1956.
Men were men.
That's right.
And we're in charge.
They were real men, actual men.
All right, maybe Flounder can remember. I found some bunch of old photos going through my boxes. I found one I took when I was walking around L.A. once. I was going through one of their cemeteries, and I found the grave of Virginia Rappe, R-A-P-P-E.
Yeah.
You remember her name?
I do, but I don't know why.
Pretty little grave with a pretty little,
she the one, the girl? No, that's
1905
okay, no, I don't
to 1921. No, I'm sorry, 1895 to 1921. So she was 26 years old. She is the young woman that in a San Francisco hotel room during a party, Fatty Arbuckle supposedly raped and killed. And she died.
Yeah.
And supposedly there was a Coca-Cola utensil.
Didn't he get away with it?
Yeah, he got away.
Yeah.
But it ruined his career.
Yeah. He never. I don't think he ever worked.
He was behind the scenes. After that.
Oh man. Yeah.
Of course, here's the infant. We laughed about this.
You went to her gravesite?
I was wandering around and I saw her gravesite.
And where is it? In Hollywood?
I think it's in Hollywood. It's one of those things. All right. And then there's the Viper Room. The infamous Viper Room
Oh,
where
the infamous
River
Viper Room.
Phoenix
Yeah, absolutely.
died on the sidewalk.
That's right.
And
My
I
man-
called up your show.
Who had just done an anti-drug commercial, by the way,
Yeah,
River Phoenix.
a month before, and I'm out there and I'm laying on the sidewalk, and I called your show as I was doing it, reenacting the. That did not go over well.
No, it was not.
They asked me to leave.
Experience.
What does this look like?
Oh, Stephanie DeLuca.
No, this looks like it looks like the temple. You're right. Also
Yeah, it
looks
looks
like
like
the
a temple.
Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
This is the Israel Discount Bank in L.A.
Israel Discount
That's what
Bank.
it says.
Oh, yeah. Leave it to the Jewish people.
But for you,
Hey, babe, 8%.
All right.
I don't want to wet my beak. I don't want to dip my beak.
That's Italian,
A little
man.
taste. Any little taste.
okay, Moshe. All right, Flounder, maybe you remember this. 2 weeks ago, he and I got in an argument about the grave of Douglas Fairbanks Sr.
Vaguely, yes.
Well, basically, here it is. Here's the grave. First, there's a big thing. Describe that to me. It's like pillars.
Well, it's a big white marble square entrance face, and it says Douglas Fairbanks, and it's got a wreath with a silhouette cast kind of photo on it and so forth.
There's the very side of his crypt says, "Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." So he's got that quote on here.
Uh-huh.
Here's what the front. And I don't know why we got in an argument. If anybody remembers why we were arguing about this, I was saying it was a palatial estate. Maybe you're talking about why do people spend money on their graves? I think because you want it to last forever. You want people to go there and want to go there.
Yeah.
This is what the front of his grave looks like. It's a reflecting pool, like something out of the White House.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Now, why wouldn't you want to just sit there? And it's right in the middle of Hollywood. It's across the street from NBC Studios. Because I watched him film, Frasier, and Arsenio Hall show. Then I walked across the street to the graveyard.
Show them.
I'll show
But they must have paid a fortune for that plot.
he was
I mean,
rich
that's like 10 acres of land.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't tear it down because it's right there in the middle of Hollywood.
Wow.
And you talk about the land costing something. It's a cemetery down
that's
there.
is that Douglas Fairbanks?
Senior.
I went to a cotillion with his granddaughter. I also went with the Dee Dee Laurelard from the Laurelard Tobacco Company. Melissa Fairbanks was her name, and I believe she was at Miss Hall's school, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong.
Well, that's pretty cool. By the way, it's 6-2 Braves, now 7-2 Braves in the ninth inning.
Outstanding.
Is that true?
Let me check.
Well, don't worry about it.
And by the way, their starting pitcher, gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings, and they said he does this every year.
Patrick
Then why would
Corbin?
then why would you put him out there? He does it
7-2
every
in
year.
the-
His
why?
April and May, he has like an 8.8 ERA.
He hasn't beaten the Braves since 2019. They're paying him $25 million this year. And
So
next
they got to
year,
put him out there.
they're paying him $30.
Oh, jeez.
He's led the National League in losses the last 2 seasons.
I heard the guy saying, he's an 8.7 ERA in April and May every year.
Can you imagine that being paid that much money to be a loser?
Well,
And I
he
feel
gets
bad
better.
for him
No,
because he used to be good.
Yeah, and I guess he gets better, or they're hoping. I don't know.
He ain't going to get better. It's over.
I know. But somebody do eat it and get somebody else.
I saw, Bruce Sutter died not too long ago.
Yeah.
You realize the Braves up to last year, was the last year they were paying his
Still paying,
contract?
yeah. Well, I was smart.
He was extremely smart.
The first person who ever did that long-term contract stuff? Milton Berle.
That's right, NBC. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, time for a truly tasteless joke.
Uh-oh, here we go.
We had to edit out the other one.
Yeah, did we?
What was the gay astronomer's favorite come on?
Something about Uranus, I'm guessing.
Let's go check out Uranus.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, since you guessed that one, asshole.
Well, that was a little obvious.
All
I
right,
don't know.
let's. We can't do that one. I can't do that one. How can you find out whether a woman is ticklish?
Tickler?
Give her 2 testicles.
2 testicles. Thank you. Fondle me Elmo. Yeah. What a country.
All right, let's see.
Yeah,
What do we
boys.
got?
The last one, actually. So we've
we
got a
gotta
week
get
to
some
build
new
up
ones
the library again.
Oh, my.
All right, it's basically a waitress and a patron. Do you want to be the waitress? Or
I'll be the waitress.
All right.
Waitress and the patron.
How did you find your steak, sir?
I just looked next to the potatoes, and there it was.
My other favorite waiter joke, I swear to God, is what I did on a Rainy Day Theater a couple years
Waiter,
ago.
there's a caterpillar in my salad.
The guy waiter comes over the table, and then Mr. Poofy Poof says, "Can you tell me how you prepare your chickens?" And he says, "Well, we usually just tell them they're going to die." Anyway, God bless America. Thank you for all your help. Patreon.com,
Venmo.
PayPal. Venmo is the easiest way if you can help us out. We'll be gone next week. Got to go see the grandkids and my daughters and people I'm seeing family stuff. So anyway, thank you for understanding. God bless you. I'll be feeding stuff on Facebook and Rumble. On my personal Facebook. And any final thoughts?
Go back, if you miss us, go back and check out some of the older shows.
Yeah, they're all there. Just go to thekimmershow.net and then look for what. When they go to that, what if they want to get the old shows? What do they click on?
They'll scroll down and they'll see there's a field right there with all the shows links. So you press that.
Dates or whatever and stuff like that. So you can look anything. Thekimmershow.net.
All right, 6 o'clock tonight. I will be on Shannon Burke's show. When will you be on tomorrow?
5:30 Friday, God willing. If I can get the connection done, we'll be on.
Now is this weekly?
No, not that I know of. I can't imagine why you would want me to be.
Why would you want me on there?
Well, I didn't know you were doing it weekly. I didn't know that.
Every 6 o'clock on Thursdays, we just shoot the shit.
Well, I'll be damned. Well, I'll be happy to.
Well, hopefully he's going to come into town in a couple weeks or soon, and we can get together and do a
Braves
podcast.
game then or
something like that.
Or go to
I can drive up from the mountains of Macon.
Maybe go to one of the Gwinnett games. That might be fun. No, it wouldn't be fun. No, how about
be as fun as a Braves
to Rome
game.
again? Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Rome would be great.
Yeah,
because it's close to Macon. From what I
go there.
understand.
You wouldn't have a short drive. All right, hoorah, Semper Fi.
Oh, no, before you go, I was
yeah.
going through my bags and I found something I forgot and I bought. We were at the Rome, 2-3 years ago?
2 years
Yeah.
ago.
2 years ago. And who was playing? Shea Langalier's the catcher. We traded to Oakland, who's now in the majors. He's playing for the A's. Michael Harris, the second, was playing center field, I believe.
And the other, Grissom.
And Braden Shoemake was playing shortstop, who almost made the team this time.
Yeah.
I had forgotten. I'd walked in there into the clubhouse store and bought an unopened pack of the Rome Braves that year, and I got all three of them suckers in that pack.
No kidding. Hang on to that, baby.
So you never know.
Well, I'll be damned. Cool.
And remember, if we watched,
Card too, not a rookie card.
that was Braden Shoemake's first professional home run, and I didn't get it on film. I was recording all of them except him, and he's the one that hit one.
I'll be damned. Well, anyway, God bless America. Thank you all. Semper Fi, hoorah, happy spring, and gotta go kill me.
Oh, happy Easter almost.
Happy
It'll be-
almost Easter,
not
and
this-
the Masters coming up.
By the time we get back, the Masters will be over and Easter will be over.
The week we come back after, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So happy Easter.
God bless America. Thank you. Hoorah. Herp.